Hey everyone, Nate Jantz here, and we're going to be talking about the Xbox Series X because I'm a little frustrated reading this piece by the Motley Fool, mostly because of a particular part that has to do with purchasing an Xbox Series X. The article itself in general is just about how powerful the system is and about the price point that it might be launching at. They don't really source anything for starters on the price point, which means that maybe they're the source. At least when I'm reading a news outlet or watching a YouTube video, if they don't give you a source for where the information comes from, I assume it's from them. But, because they say some estimates point to the Microsoft Series X, aka Xbox Series X. It's actually just called Xbox, by the way. For those curious about what the naming convention is for Microsoft's next system, yes, they announced the Xbox Series X, but Phil Spencer has come out to say that the next system is simply just called Xbox, and then there's going to be multiple lines of that Xbox. So one of those lines is like the Series X. Some people think there's going to be a Series S, which is a cheaper system, etc., stuff like that. Think of it like the Nintendo Switch. So you have like the Switch, now you have the Switch Lite, and then there might be a Switch Pro, etc., etc. So Microsoft's basically doing the same naming convention that Nintendo does, except except Nintendo's not just calling it a Nintendo like we used to back in the day. Oh, I gotta go play my Nintendo. It's the entertainment system. It's the Super Nintendo entertainment system. It's the N64, etc. So $500 to $600 price range is what they are saying that some estimates point to. Now, I don't know where these estimates come from because they don't give us any sources for those estimates, so I'm assuming they're their own internal estimates. I don't know that it's going to cost $500 or $600. I think if it costs $600, that PlayStation 5 is going to come in much cheaper. So I don't know that $600 is a good target price. $499, which is what they launched the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X at, seems much more likely in my opinion. It would be nice to see it launch at $399, but with the technology packed in that we're even aware of at this point, that seems very unlikely because these are pretty powerful systems for the time they come out. We're not talking top of the line gaming PCs, but we are talking something that could play most games at 4K at some sort of FPS if it was a straight up PC. So these are decently powerful systems we have coming. Now, early reports, they're saying early reports anyways, indicate that the Xbox Series X will be more powerful than Sony's PlayStation 5. But again, they don't give any sources on that. So I'm left to think it's their own sources. But I think what's really upsetting me about this particular article isn't so much the speculation on the price, because again, it is speculation. They're saying, estimates. Estimates are not the same as insider sources. Reports indicating that it'll be more powerful than Sony's next gen system. That is a report that they are suggesting exists out there, which I know it does. But I do find it weird when a place such as Motley Fool, which is a relatively well-known media outlet, is not sourcing. I don't like that. But they talk about, high-end model. There might be a lower-end model, blah, 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 blah. But here's where I get really frustrated, because this shows how little research the Motley Fool has done, and this shows how little that general media really understands about video games. So one way the next gen Xbox, it might be more like an iPhone. People who purchase new models of Apple's iPhone, however, often opt to do so through an installment plan or through deals that pair the device with lengthy wireless contracts from providers like AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, etc. I mean, that is perfectly reasonable. To give you an example here, I got the iPhone 11 Pro Max thing, whatever, and obviously I was able to get this because contracts and being able to pay it off over time. Well, it says don't be surprised if Microsoft tries to employ a similar strategy with the Xbox Series X. Online service packages such as Xbox Live, PlayStation Network have been hugely profitable for Microsoft and Sony, and the current console cycle, and they're going to be an essential part of the next-gen console business model. With the threat of companies including Alphabet, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple make big pushes to the gaming market, Microsoft may think a high-powered console gives it the best chance of fulfilling its gaming ambitions. Marketing the system with an installment and subscription-focused model could be a way to encourage adoption at a high rate for standalone hardware. The company has already been testing the waters with this kind of approach. And then they bring it up. Xbox All Access is Microsoft's current installment plan service and could be a big part of the company's next-gen strategy. For a set monthly rate that varies depending on the hardware that's included, All Access provides an Xbox console, a large library of games through the company's Game Pass, and live service. The All Access plan that includes the Xbox One X, currently Microsoft's strongest console, is priced at $31 per month across 24 monthly payments. Pricing the plan hasn't been updated to reflect recent bundles and deals in the Xbox One X hardware, but new subscribers have the option to upgrade the plan that include the next-gen Series hardware after 12 monthly payments. It's possible Microsoft could make a high price for the Series X hardware palatable by offering potential customers a no-money-down installment plan. So here's the thing. They contradict themselves in their own piece. So first they say, people blah, blah, blah. Don't be surprised if Microsoft tries to employ a similar strategy. Then they talk about the exact strategy that Microsoft is doing. Xbox All Access. Folks, Microsoft is already going to be doing this with the Series X. They are going to offer an installment plan option. It's already here now. Now, you cannot currently pre-order an Xbox Series X console. Of course, we are probably a little under a year out from when Xbox Series X will launch, so it would make sense that you can't necessarily pre-order it yet. But as they mentioned, if you scroll down here, you do get to enjoy the option to upgrade to the next Xbox console, the Xbox Series X, after the equivalent of 18 payments. Get the Xbox Series X with a new Xbox All Access purchase from the same retail partners where you joined the program, which right now I think is just Amazon is the only one doing it. But right now, for a limited time, if you get the Xbox One X, if I buy one right now, 12 months from now, so basically at the end of December next year, I could upgrade to Project Scarlet. AKA, I could upgrade to the Xbox Series X. And you see what's all included if you do that one for $31 a month. No upfront cost. There's no APR. So this is basically you're just paying for Game Pass. You're paying for Xbox Live. And then you're paying a little bit extra for the system, and basically after 24 months, you have fully paid off the system, and then it's yours to keep, or you can trade it in, upgrade, all that stuff. And they have it as low as, you can get the Xbox One S all digital as low as $20 a month. And yes, if you get any of these, you can upgrade to the Xbox Series X. But again, these ones are going to require 18 months, whereas right now the Xbox One X will only require a 12-month, and then you can trade. No, it is a trade-in program, so you do have to give the Xbox One X back, but you could trade the Xbox One X back in after 12 months, upgrade to. And by the time you do that, it probably won't arrive till sometime in January of 2021. But yeah, that's what they're doing. They're factually doing it. Like, this isn't a testing the water thing. Xbox All Access is a real thing. This isn't a temporary program. It's been around for a little bit now, and it's been the budget way to get into Xbox. And because Game Pass is such a really good deal, by the way, if you don't know anything about Xbox Game Pass, it is fantastic. All of the exclusive games available on Xbox are there on the Xbox Game Pass stuff. And this is in addition to, there's a ton of really good third-party games as well. I think The Outer Worlds, as an example, is available through Game Pass. It's one of the best gaming subscription services in the world right now. Like, literally, out of all the ones that exist, it is simply the best. It's honestly what people wanted Google Stadia to be. They wanted it to be, you're going to pay a subscription fee to Google Stadia, and you're going to get all these games. When you don't, you get Destiny if you do the subscription thing. So yeah, Xbox One X, Xbox, Microsoft, they're killing it with the video game subscription service, and they're way ahead of everybody else. So if you're looking for a Netflix of gaming, Microsoft kind of has it, and it's only going to get better when they have a streaming version of it available and not just the download. And they have both. That's going to be crazy because Netflix lets you download things. Well, so that's how Game Pass works right now. You download and install the game. So I think that Microsoft has a really big leg up for next gen right now. Now, this is before we learn anything about PlayStation 5, before we learn if Nintendo is going to do a Pro model or if they're going to even talk about new hardware at any point. Because remember, technically Nintendo Switch would be the first new system of the new generation because Wii U was a system for the current generation and Switch is kind of going between generations. But also, the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 don't really replace Switch because they're not portable, so they don't really have the same functionality. Everything can kind of coexist is kind of what I'm throwing out there. But yes, Microsoft absolutely is going to have Xbox All Access available for the Series X. Absolutely, it's going to be available for it. It already is available for it. You just can't get it yet. You probably won't be able to pre-order a Series X because they're going to be sold out. They're going to be sold out next year. So they know that. So you're not going to be able to pre-order a Series X, but you will be able to, probably starting in 2021, be able to get one through this program once supply and demand is met. Because yes, they're always sold out at launch. No matter if the price is, $600. The PlayStation 3 was sold out at launch. So it's going to be sold out. But once they catch up to demand, they absolutely are going to enable you to get a system like this. So they may even let you order it ahead of time and be like, oh, when it's available, we'll send you one. We won't charge you until we send you one, etc. So yeah, you absolutely are going to be able to do this. That's kind of what I hate about the Motley Fool's article is not only are there no sources on anything they're talking about, they don't link to anything. When they finally do bring up the All Access plan, they bring it up after they say, oh, Microsoft might do this, they might do that. They're factually doing it, and you're literally contradicting your own thoughts in the article by pointing out that they're already factually doing it. This is already part of Xbox All Access. So they're going to make it easy to get your hands on it, at least if you're willing to purchase through Amazon. They were supposed to add other retailers to the mix. They haven't really successfully done that to this point, but yeah, I think Microsoft is going to kill it. At least at launch. We'll see, obviously, how it goes. We could talk all day about the hardware. We could give opinions on, the HTC PC-looking case that the Xbox Series X is using, or, if they have a Series S and Lockhart. We're going to be obviously talking a lot about this next year, but we got to see what's happening with Sony with PlayStation 5. We got to see what's happening with Nintendo. And to be fair, what really matters are the games. Now, we obviously know the Xbox Series X, just like the PlayStation 5, will have all of the multi-platform AAA third-party games. And, we could debate on which system performs better, or has a better controller, better this, better that, even though the controller on this looks pretty much like the Xbox One with a different D-pad. I think that games are going to be the key to next gen. We've already seen one next gen exclusive game in Hellblade 2, so it'll be interesting to see how Sony responds, because Sony has always had better, let's just face it, factually, Sony's had more and better exclusive games than Microsoft. That's just the way it's been. Now, you might prefer the Halos and the Gears of War and stuff like that, but Sony's just had a lot more exclusive games, not to the level of Nintendo, because no one's at the level of Nintendo with the exclusives, but they have had more and better exclusive games for those powerful boxes. And Microsoft bought up a whole crap load of studios to end this generation. So there's some expectations that Microsoft's taking it seriously under Phil Spencer, that they're going to come back with a whole bunch of their own exclusives. In fact, I'm very curious to see if Age of Empires 4, which was announced, if that's going to be PC and Xbox, and how they handle that, because I don't really want the PC version to be gimped for the console, control-wise, because it's always been a point-and-click kind of game, and I prefer it on PC usually, but I'm sure you'll be able to use mouse and keyboard with this as well, and that might be fun to review that game on an Xbox Series X, just to, hey, I'm using a mouse and keyboard and a controller, which is better, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about the Xbox Series X in general. Are you even excited for it? Are you scared the pricing is going to be way out of your pocketbook range? Obviously, both these price points are out of my pocketbook range, but I do plan to hopefully get a pre-order down day one when they're available, and then just pay it off over time at GameStop or whatever. That's one thing I do like about GameStop is you can pre-order day one systems. You just got to put like $100 down, and then you can just pay it off over time until the system launches. I like that. It's like a layaway program before the system launches. I love that. That's how I was able to get a Switch day one. That's how I was able to get an Xbox One day one. And that's how I'm probably going to be able to get this. So it'll be a little sad when GameStop goes away, because they're the only local retailer I have that does that. Walmart won't let me do it. Best Buy won't let me do it. They'll let you pre-order, but you basically could just pay you basically pre-order it and you put some money down, or you pay the entire thing off. Whereas GameStop lets me lay away it a bit, so it's nice. So I don't know. I'm getting it day one. That's the hope. I'm hoping to also get the PlayStation 5 day one. It's probably going to be over $1,000 to get both of them day one, but that's why I want the pre-orders to go up as soon as possible, so I could start, every paycheck go and toss a 20 down on it or something. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. I guess you could argue it might be pointless. I know I was making fun of the Motley Fool a little bit. I don't really know that publication that well, but I am pretty excited about the Series X, and I can't wait to see what Sony's going to bring with PlayStation 5. Also, for you Sony fans out there rocking those PlayStation 4s and everything, be ready, because soon, I'm not exactly sure on the exact date, but soon, the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo, free demo, will be dropping, and you'll be able to check that out. So stay tuned for that, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've never played Final Fantasy VII, so I'm kind of excited to try out that demo. Even though I don't have a PlayStation 4 in my house, I have friends that do, so I'll head over to theirs and try it out, because I know it's widely considered one of the best games of all time. So I'm pretty excited for the remake myself. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you in the next video.